Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon.
Joining us on the line now is Elad Inbar, founder and CEO of RobotLab for over 17 years. He's a real visionary in the field of robotics. His book, Our Robotics Future, is the ultimate guide to the transformative power of automation, robotics and AI. In the book, Elad demystifies the current robotics market and offers clear insights into the latest technologies and emerging trends that are set to revolutionize the way we work. Welcome to the show, Elad.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Now, it seems it's only been like a couple of years that people have been talking constantly about AI and robots and things, but the fact that you founded this company 17 years ago, it's not a new thing for you at all.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But in all honesty, the robots and the AI that we had, 17 years ago is not even close to what we have today. Things have been improved, drastically over the past decade and a half, and in the past couple of years, this totally took off and accelerated beyond our wildest dreams.
Yeah, so it must be very exciting for you being in the industry and seeing how much it's changed and grown and evolved in that time.
Yeah, absolutely. When we started, most of the robots were toys for geeks, like, even educational tools and this kind of thing. So, tabletop robots, remote control, cars and, robotic arms and these kind of things. Nothing like what we see today, from commercial, cleaning and security, cooking, drones and all of that, and over to humanoid robots that are just about to get into our lives. Not there yet, but in a year or two, it's absolutely going to be in everyone's lives.
Now, some people view AI as being really exciting and just technology naturally developing and evolving, which we've all seen in our lifetime with computers and phones and things. And others see it as something that's really quite frightening, the idea of them taking over our lives, taking jobs away from humans. There's obviously lots of kind of different aspects to AI. How do you see it then, being in the industry?
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's exciting and terrifying at the same way, at the same time. And this is something that, the human beings, we've, witnessed over and over again. We have seen multiple of these iterations that within a decade, a technology that was just emerged, just launched, took over, and, everyone is using that, and no one remembers what happened before. Think about mobile phones, for example. Okay, the first Motorola with the shoulder strap, mobile phone was launched in the late 80s. By the late 90s, everyone had a mobile phone. No one, wanted to use a landline anymore. The same with smartphones. Apple launched their iPhone in the mid 2000 or 2007. By 2017, everyone has a smartphone. No one is using, a brick phone, Nokias and these kind of things, right? But this thing happened over and over again. And, go back, 100 years back. I have a slide that I love to show with two pictures of Manhattan. Downtown Manhattan, one from 1905 and one from 1913. In 1905, Fifth Avenue is full with horses, one car. Okay. In 1913, all cars, only one horse. And this happened in an 8 years span. Now, granted, there was a big change. Think about the lives of people that lived back then, right? I mean, from, going where, a horse can take you, right? The distance that a horse can take you, over to where a car can take you. You can just refuel the car and go and go and go. And you don't have to wait anymore. This changed the entire, human race and the suburbs of the big cities and all of that, came to be because of the ability to commute. Now, have we lost, a couple of jobs like, pooper scoopers that went behind the horses and pick up all the, horse, stuff that they leave behind? Yes, absolutely. But, is this what humanity wants to do? Absolutely not. Humanity doesn't want to pick, horse leftovers, right? And the same thing today. robots are not taking jobs. They're not replacing, people and kicking them out of jobs. What the robots are doing, they're actually stepping in and filling the gap where people don't want to do these jobs anymore. I'll give you a few examples. No one wants to vacuum carpets in hotels for 8 hours a day. No one. And this is a constant, thing that we are hearing from hotel owners. Robots can actually do that. No one wants to bus dirty dishes back to the dishwashing station. Okay, they are doing that because that's the entry level position that they can get, but they actually don't want to do that. And they drag their feet. They have attitude and all of that. And business owners can automate that with robots and so on to many different industries, from moving boxes in warehouses and beyond. This allows the humanity to step up, and release the mundane, the repetitive tasks to automation and focus on something that brings higher fulfillment and better quality of life to everyone involved.
Yeah.
So in my point of view, robots don't really take jobs. They are just releasing humanity to be the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you make a good point. I mean, all of those various jobs that you mentioned, and there's many more that we could think of that aren't necessarily fun jobs or aren't really fulfilling jobs. But people do them. There's plenty of people who are hoovering hotels and a lot of these jobs, as you say, are entry level sometimes, but sometimes they are something that people do their whole lives. It's not just young people
Absolutely.
coming into work. I mean, when I think about different jobs that I did when I was much younger, 16, and, working in hotels, working as a chambermaid, these kind of things that, when you're a young person that you try out, but it can become a career for plenty of people. So it's difficult. I sort of feel like there is an argument for, but there is still an argument
you're right.
against.
Here's the thing, and you're absolutely right. When it becomes someone's career, okay, then robots have no, room over there. Mm. Okay, that's your career. That's what you do. But I'll argue that, a housekeeper in a hotel that is on average, by the way, globally, 57-year-old, that's not her career. That's not what she wants to do. She has grandkids. She wants to be at home, with her grandkids. She doesn't want to work, from 7 a.m. the first shift, all the way to, late night. That's not a career. That's a necessity.
Yeah.
And, we go to the point that people can survive without doing these type of jobs. And that's a problem that as a humanity, as a human race, we need to solve. Okay. But, what's going to happen in 2 years when she becomes 59 or 62? Okay. Who is going to do these jobs? Okay, who's going to make the beds? Who's going to clean carpets? Who's going to help assisted living facilities to keep their facilities clean? Yeah. No one wants to go there. Hotels are nice. Everyone is giving nice tips and everything, and everyone loves to work there. But what about assisted living facilities? I know that firsthand, talking to many of them. Okay, they cannot find people that will, clean. Because it's less glorious or glamorous, sure. Right? And these are the things that we can actually step in and help, because the few that do show up to work, they care. They want to do better. So we need to empower them and give them all the tools that we can to do a better job, to focus on areas that robots can't. Robots are great at cleaning floors. They cannot, make the bed. They cannot, clean sinks or bathrooms or these kind of things. We don't have these technologies. Mm. Okay, so that's where people can focus on and get the kind of like the wingman. Okay, that can help them with the routine, mundane tasks, large corridors, and these kind of things. Yeah,
it's having them as assistants as opposed to replacing, isn't it, for particular jobs, and particularly when you're talking about the care industry, whether it's assisted living facilities or hospitals and things like that, they cannot possibly replace the bedside manner of humans. The human interaction between patient and the person working there can be really key for people. But yeah, the people working in these places could spend more time caring for the patients if they've got a robot to to clean up the mess. Exactly. That sounds perfect.
Exactly.
The other interesting one is hospitality. And, you know, I have been to a couple of restaurants when a robot has come along delivering the food, which is always kind of fun and exciting. But again, makes me think, gosh, you know, so many people work in hospitality. It's a great entry level job, but it is also a career for many people. And I think, are these robots taking the place of humans who would be delivering the food?
So, you know, a similar observation, and I can share that, you know, again, from talking to, you know, hundreds and hundreds of restaurant owners. Everyone, you know, have that, you know, concept of, entry-level position. I just graduate from high school or from college, you know, I'll go wait tables and, you know, get my career started. But the reality is that, especially after COVID, people don't want to do that. They don't show up. And even if they show up, they, you know, quit even, you know, same day. And this is something that, it drastically changed in the past few years. If you think about it, you know, labor shortage is not new. COVID didn't, you know, invented labor shortages, but it definitely exaggerated that. And how is that? When you think about it, people that are, you know, going into entry-level positions just graduated from, you know, high school or college or whatnot, right? Now, COVID happened, you know, 5 years ago. Well, breaks my brain just to think about it, right? It's
it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, but think about it this way: people that were employed in these positions 5-6 years ago, okay, today they want higher paying jobs. They want to start a family. They want to buy a house. They want to get ahead in life. So they're not willing to work for minimum, you know, wages, you know, waiting tables anymore. So they moved on. On the other side, we typically had, you know, every, you know, year, basically a new cohort of, you know, graduates stepping in. I need to start my career. I need to start my job. Let's, you know, wait table. Let's start there. But what happened after COVID is that people don't want to do that because we confine them to their homes for, you know, a couple of years in some, you know, countries or states, you know, even longer than that. And, you know, they just developed different skills. They became YouTube, you know, stars, TikTok influencers, and so on and so on. And they're making money. When they need to, you know, go outside and make money, they prefer to drive for Uber and for DoorDash. I'm sure you have in Europe the equivalent of this,
absolutely,
you know, delivery services, right? So they can work whenever they want, for how long they want, and they don't need to talk to people. They don't need to be nice to people, and you know, they can go back and, you know, play video games after that. And I know I'm generalizing, but you know, you have a large portion of this population that are not willing to go and do the work. They are not willing to work 8 hours in a restaurant. So, you know, we have that gap that just keep expanding. Okay. From one side, people that did these jobs, they want to move on to start, you know, higher, value careers. And from the other side, we have less and less people willing or stepping into that market and do that. That's the labor shortage. That's the gap that robots can actually fill in. And now, when you go to a, you know, nice restaurant and you have this, you know, old gentleman that, you know, is probably 60-year-old and is really proud of himself, that's his career. Okay. And robots will never replace that. Okay. Because robots cannot give this personal touch. When we go to these nice restaurants, we are paying to be served. Right, we are paying for that extra, you know, touch, extra, you know, experience. But when we're just talking about hauling, you know, dishes or dirty dishes or whatnot, okay, there is very little, you know, people or an amount of people that actually want to do that.
Yeah.
And this is where robots step in.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I don't mean to be being so negative about your industry. I'm sorry, because
good. This is a concern I hear everywhere.
I'm sure.
Okay, but people don't understand the reality of, you know, running a business today.
Yeah, no, you've explained it really well. So tell me about some of the things that you're doing within the company RobotLab then. I'm guessing every day is different, but what have you been doing in the last couple of years and what are you working towards?
Yeah, so we're working with almost every market segment, from you know, restaurants, hotels, assisted living facilities that we talked about, over to warehouses, and even you know, hospitals, schools, you know, you name it, movie theaters. In let's say 3 main areas. The first one is cleaning. Okay, cleaning floors, cleaning carpets, indoors, outdoors. We help business owners to, keep their environments clean. The second category is delivery. Every time we need to move something in the facility, it can be, again, food in a restaurant. It can be, extra towels and shampoos in a hotel or a room service, right? Go down from the kitchen in the basement, find the elevator, go up to the right floor, get out of the elevator and deliver to the room. We have robots that can do that, or even delivery in warehouses, moving boxes from place to place and helping the people to pack, the right things in the right boxes and ship it out instead of walking and running throughout, the facility. These are the three main categories that we have today, and we have a few other emerging categories from. Customer service to cooking, security. We just launched firefighting robots. We are working with a company that help take out the fire in the Notre Dame cathedral in Paris. We brought them to the US and we just show how this robot can actually take out an airplane fire right after landing and all of that without risking the life of firefighters.
Wow.
So these are the things that we have today, and they're all accelerating really, really fast. I'm sure everyone is looking at humanoid robots, robots that are human shape and can do everything that we can do, right? Integrating with our environment. And this is coming up. It's coming up in the next 2 to 3 years. It's going to be roughly $1,000, €1,000, type of product that can fold the laundry for us, load the dishwasher, pick up after the kids the mess in the living room, and whatnot. And again, these are things that are not replacing anyone, just helping us be more productive, helping us releasing ourselves from doing mundane tasks.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? I wonder if in a certain amount of years' time, whether we're talking 10 years, 50 years or whatever, whether most people will have a robot in their house that does all those things, that does the cleaning, that loads the dishwasher, that, without even thinking it, like you say, with the advancement of mobile phones, and we'll look back and go, gosh, do you remember when we had to clean our own houses?
Exactly.
And laugh at ourselves.
Yeah. If the Jetsons, Rosie from the Jetsons is coming. I was under the impression that, with the technology, the pace and everything, until a couple of years ago, that humanoid robots are Rosie, right, from the Jetsons is, roughly, 15 years out, 15, 20 years out. We're not there yet. But with everything that is happening in the past couple of years, I changed my, my prediction. I believe we are 2 to 3 years away from having Rosie, like a all-functioning robot in our homes. We actually have a bet here in the company. I said that by the end of this decade, which is in 5 years, another, brain, breaker, right?
Yeah.
5 years, in 2030. But I said in 2030, we'll have a robot plumber that can actually take care of your, kitchen sink or, dishwasher leak or whatnot. It can do everything that a plumber can do in 5 years. And we have a bet about that. So we are moving in an amazing speed. And, being at the center of all of that and seeing that happening and growing and changing, every step is not just like a 20% improvement or 50% improvement or even, twice better. We're talking about 10 times improvement each, step. We are moving at a pace that was unimaginable just a few years ago.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So, I wanted to ask you if you're constantly thinking about this, if you're constantly kind of, whenever you're doing stuff in life, your general day-to-day task, are you thinking to yourself, I wonder if we could get a robot to do this? Are you?
Oh, absolutely.
I imagine
absolutely.
you are.
Actually, yeah, my wife and I, are talking about that. We have 2 kids, 10 and 7-year-old, and we have a debate. I said that they'll never need a driver license. Our 10-year-old, okay, which is, in 6, 7 years, depends on the country where you are, right, won't need a driver license. She'll actually look at us and to tell us, were you crazy driving by yourself? Don't you know how dangerous it is? And she won't comprehend, as you said. Why, were people driving? And this is, again, technologies that are available and in 5, 6 years are going to be not the mainstream, the standard. everything beyond that will be like, sorry, this is like, you're trying to make fire by, rolling, wood stick on on a rock. It's not going to, do whatever you want to do, right? This is how fast we're moving.
Yeah. We have a caller on the line who hopefully has an interesting question for you. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Hello, you're live on TRE.
It's Paddy Harrison calling from Mallorca. Quite a lot of people do really enjoy mundane tasks, actually, rather than having it taken away from them. And also, all the robotics, I'm experiencing this through the internet. And these American companies, especially the one who has the platform where I sell boats on, called Yacht World, with all their automation, they're taking away all the personal aspects of the job. They think they are. They're actually pretty useless at it because they haven't a clue how to sell a boat or how to conduct themselves with clients. And they could keep going on and on and on about automation, and yet they're taking things away because it loses all the aspects of the human touch in every single way. That's from every single job that goes on. We do not want to, well, I don't personally, want all this automation because it's taking away the human touch, the human-to-human contact.
Okay, thank you.
And also the cars will never cope with the country lanes of Mallorca or the back streets of the villages, not in a million years. And with kids and playing football in the street and behaving and stopping to have a chat and everything else.
Yeah.
It's not the real world. It's maybe a world in the States, but I don't believe, and I really hope it's never, like Trump and everything else, is going to exist.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks for your call. We'll see what Elad has to say about that.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. I mean, people that love doing the jobs should keep doing that. But not everyone, like as I mentioned with the pooper scoopers, right? Not everyone loves to do that. They were people that were employed to do that, but it doesn't mean that they like to do that or want to do that or get out of the bed. Yeah, I'm going to do that thing again all day long, right?
I think the idea may be that it should be an option. It's an option, isn't it? It's an option for employers. It's an option for employees. It's as opposed to taking 100%. Over and loads of people losing their jobs. And I totally agree with what he said about the personal touch, which is what I said about the hospitals and when you're working in care. If the robots were there to do some of the cleaning tasks, to give the nurses or
absolutely.
the people to spend more time with the patients, then that's a really good thing. And I know from personal experience that, well, not personal, but family members' experience in care homes, that the staff are often really overworked and the patients don't always get enough care and attention that they should be. Yep. So this is a potential solution for that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that you brought it up. We have a robot that helps with people with dementia. They don't remember who they are and why they are there and where, is their spouse and the kids and why they're not home. So every morning they wake up, frustrated. And, just like when no one can explain them, someone just need to go and say, hey, Mr. Jones, you're here because you have memory problem. Don't worry, your spouse will come later today. Your kids will come to visit. Follow me. I have breakfast for you. That's the only thing that is needed. And we don't have enough therapists to actually work with them. And they end up, frustrated and sometimes violent. That's why a lot of these, memory care units are locked because people just get violent. They ran out and, they want to take care of themselves, although they can't. And we don't have enough therapists to actually help them.
Yeah.
So, a robot that, can come with all the empathy and basically share videos and pictures. Here's your wedding day. Here's your first child that was born. Okay, they'll be here today. Come follow me. I have breakfast for you. Okay. Sometimes that's the only thing that is needed in order to de-escalate the situation, give them a better life. And guess what? The robot can do that 500 times a day and not get frustrated. The robot won't get, no, I told you 5 minutes ago. Can't you remember it?
Absolutely.
Things. Right. I mean, and these are, places where technology can actually help because we don't have enough people that want to do these jobs. And I agree. If we had that, awesome. Every, human being deserves a human touch, but we don't have that. We don't have enough of that.
Oh, it's interesting. It's been a fascinating discussion. Thank you so much for coming on today. And if people want to learn more about the subject, they can get a copy of your book. The book is called Our Robotics Future, and that's available on our website, tre.radio. And what's your website if people want to have a look?
Yeah. And if you want to learn about what we do, we are at robotlab.com, robotlab.com. You can learn about what we do, and I would love to, if you have any questions or comments or whatnot, I would love to answer everyone. Just, shoot me an email, and we'll be available for everyone.
Perfect. Elad Inbar, thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to chat with you today.
Thank you for having me.